Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. In this lecture, I am telling you about a package which is known as AWT-SWING-LISTENERS. This package is used whenever you want to create the GUI application, means graphical user interfaces. Okay, so Java provides you a package known as ART or Abstract Window Toolkit. And with the help of this package you will be able to write such applications which will have a GUI interface. Okay, so this toolkit is available in all type of Java implementations, and it is described in every Java textbook. Okay, it uses the control defined by operating system, and therefore it's the least common denominator. Difficult to build an attractive GUI. Okay, with the help of this toolkit, we are able to make GUI applications. And how we will use this package, we will import this package whenever we want to use it by using the import command like import java.art.star. Okay, so whatever the subclasses that are available in this art package, we can easily import them by using the import statement, and with the help of this package we can easily create graphical user interfaces for our applications. Here in Java, there is another package which is known as Swing. And the Swing package is also, with the help of Swing package, we can also create the graphical user interface applications. Okay, Swing is more flexible than Abstract Window Toolkit. Swing requires the Java 2 or some huge download, and it have more controls and they are more flexible. Okay, Swing में आपके पास आर्ट के मुकाबले में ज़्यादा कंट्रोल्स अवेलेबल हैं, ठीक है, जबकि एब्स्ट्रैक्ट विंडो टूलकिट या आर्ट में इतना फ्लेक्सिबल नहीं है जितना कि स्विंग है. So Swing give us a look and feel package. It gives us a choice of a look and feel, and it is much easier to build attractive GUI application by using the Swing. We can import the Swing package as we can import an art package by using the import statement. So we will write the Java import and then Java x.swing.star. If you are using a Macintosh or a PC system, so you will use a Java x and .swing.star. We will import it. And if you are using the Unix operating system, then you will write import com.sum.java.swing.star. So these are the import statements for the Swing package while using the Mac or PC operating systems or Unix operating systems. Okay, now we are going to compare Swing with art. So we can say that Swing is bigger and slower. Actually, Swing has many more controls, so it is bigger than art. The controls of art are limited as compared to the Swing. So in this respect, Swing is bigger and slower. Swing is more flexible and better looking. Okay, Swing and art are incompatible, so you can use either but you can't mix them. So if you are using an art app in your application, so then you have to use the art, and if you are using a Swing package, then your graphic container, graphics symbol or the GUI controls will belong to the Swing package. So we can't use the art and Swing controls both at a time. Learning the art is a good start on learning Swing. Actually, art is a basic tool or a basic package for the GUI application, so it is good to learn art first and then to switch the swing package. Here is the code. If you are using a button you want to create a button, you want to declare an object of a button class. So in art you will write the class name button, and then it is followed by b, and then it is equal new button. Okay. And in a swing package it will be, we will say the J button. Okay, so we have already studied that for using a swing, our every control will start at the J, by the J alphabet. So J button, B equal to new, and J button. Okay. Okay. When we are going to create the GUI application, we must aware for some more terminologies like frame, window, or an applet. Okay, so we should know what is frame, what is window, or what is an applet. Okay, if we create the graphical user interface, we must involve the controls. There are various types of controls which are also known as components, and we can call them button, text areas, checkboxes, combo boxes, etc. And then we use those control to our displayed area. Okay, we use those control, or we add those control to a display area. Okay, so there will be a display area in our program, and the controls we want to display on that area, we will add those controls to that specific area, and then we will arrange those controls on the displayed area. So we will arrange the controls on a layout, right? And then we will attach listener actions to these controls. So every application if we want to build a GUI application, we will have a frame or a window or an applet, and then we will build different type of controls, and then we will add those controls to some specific area, and then we will arrange those controls by using the layout, and then we will listen those controls, we will make them active by using the listeners actions to our controls. Okay. What are containers and what are components? There are two basic things we should familiar with if we are writing the GUI application. One is known as container and the other one is known as component. The job of the container is to hold and display components. A container is also a component. Okay, so we will have container and we will have component. Okay, so with the help of components, we will use different type of components to improve our GUI application, to give more interactive environment to our application. And we will close these components on a container. Some common components are button, checkboxes, labels, scroll bars, text fields, and text area. And some containers are panel, which is an applet, windows, and a frame. So container has subclasses like panel, and panel has a subclass applet, and the container has also a subclass window and frame. Okay, so you can see here the hierarchy. An applet is a panel and it is a container. So you will have, look at it first of all, at the topmost you will have java.link.object package, then within that the sub package is java.art component, and then within the java.art component we will have container, and then within the container we will have panel, and within the panel we will have applet class. Okay, so this is a hierarchy for the applet. Okay, now to create an applet, what we will do, We will create our own applet. So we will have a class by any name. Let's suppose it is my applet. Now this my applet class is extended by the applet class. Okay, so every applet which we are going to develop, it will be extended from the applet class. This is the only way to make an applet. Okay, then we can add components to the applet. Okay, so if once we extend the class from an applet class, and अगर हम एक अपना applet class जो है उसको inherit करें applet class से, तो फिर उसको हम उस applet class में हम components add करेंगे. ठीक है, so it is best to add component in init. Every applet class will have an init method. Okay, and then we will put add statements or add components in init method. Okay, so we can paint directly on the applet, but it's better to paint on another component like while painting from paint graphics. Okay, so this is a short method how we can create an applet. Now look at it. Here are some basic types of components. On this applet we can see labels, we can see buttons like click me, clubs, and the labels are let's use components. Okay, so these are the labels, single checkbox. And then we can have scroll bars, horizontal and vertical scroll bar. We have text field area, we have list box, we have radio buttons, and we have command buttons, etc. So these are different types of components. With the help of these components we can create a graphical user interfaces in Java. Now here is some code for an example. If you want to create a component, how you can do it by using a Java language. Now look at it. In the first line you can see that we have declared an object of a label class, that is lay, and this lay will have a caption hide there. Okay, then in the second statement you can see that we have declared an object of the button class but. Okay, so button but equal to new button, and then the action of this button or a caption will have click me. And then we have declared a toggle object which is of type checkbox. Okay, and it is will have a caption toggle. And then a text field is defined as a text object, and this text object will have a text initial text is initial text of size 20. And then if you want to create a scrolly component like a horizontal or vertical scroll bar, so you can make it by using the by declaring an object of the scroll bar classes. Okay, so it could be horizontal and it could be vertical, and every scroll bar will have some minimum value and maximum value. This will act as a starting and ending point for that scroll bar. So these are the Java codes to create different components. Now here look at it how we can add components to an applet. Okay, so once you define an applet, first of all you will create an applet class. Okay, so here my applet is the class, and that is extended by the applet class. Okay, and within the applet class you will declare init method. Okay, so you can see a public void init method, and within the init method you will add different components like you can see that we have add the label object, we have add a button object, we have add a toggle, we have add a text, and we have add a scrolly. So we have add 5 different types of components to this applet. Now look at this. This is the piece of code the help of which you can add components to the applet. Okay, once you add components, you will need to arrange those components. Okay, so how you can arrange the components? You can arrange the components on a container with the help of a layout manager. So every container has a layout manager, and by default for any container there is a layout manager. For the panel, supposing for a panel class we have a layout manager is flow layout. Okay, so flow layout जो है ये panel class के लिए क्या है, एक layout manager है, but we know that applet is a panel, so flow layout is also a layout manager for the applet. ठीक है, so if you want to add add explicitly layout, okay, by default you will use a flow layout, but if you want to declare or make another layout, so you can do it by using the set layout method. Okay, so here is the Java code. You can see set layout, and then it is followed by the parenthesis, and within the parenthesis you have to pass a flow layout manager. You could change it to some other layout manager as well. Now here flow layout, how you can use a flow layout. Okay, if you are using a flow layout, you will need to add component. Okay, so to add a component using a flow layout, you should follow some steps. All the components are added from left to right. Okay, so whatever the components you are going to add to a layout, it will be added from left to right. Okay, if no space or no room is left it, so a new row will be started. We will move from left to right, but if we come to the end of line and our component is not going to fixed within that size, then it will start a new row. Okay, exact layout depends on the size of the applet. Components are made as small as possible. Okay, as we know that applet will have a limited size, so we made the component so small so they can easily adjust on the layout. Flow layout is a convenient way, but it often looks ugly. Here you can see an applet with 5 layouts. Okay, at most 5 components can be added to this layout. You can see that 5 components have been added: north, west, east, south, and center. Okay, so every layout will have this position: north, west, center, east, and south. If you want more components, you have to add panels. Okay, so we will add our components to these positions. If we want to add a component to the north, so we will set our layout to the north, and if we want to add component to west, here is the statement located. Now look at it. In the init method, we will write a set layout. Okay, set layout, and it is passed a new border layout. Okay, now if we are going to add some button to the north, so we can do it by using add border layout dot north and then new button and with a caption north. And similarly, if we want to add a button to a south, so we can add it by using add border layout dot south dot new button south. And if we want to add the border layout on east, we can do it by using the following statement. Now the output of this code is observed here. You can see, look at it. You will have north, west, center, east. So we are having 2 buttons, button 1 and button 2. Now look at it, how we can use a panel. First of all, you have to make the object of a panel class. Let this be By using the constructor panel, we have created an object P of the panel class. Okay. Then what we will do? Then we will add a border. Add border layout dot south and pass this panel to layout. Okay. So P has been passed as an argument to the south in border layout. Okay. Now we are going to add two buttons to this panel. So P.add new button with a caption button 1 and P.add new button with a caption button 2. Now if you look at the output here, you will have two buttons, button 1 and button 2 on a south layout. Okay, border, on a south border. Okay. Okay. Once you created components and they are being added to the applet, we need to make them active. Okay, so how we can make components active? We can do it by using some event, by using some to associate some action with our components. Most components already appear to do something, like button is click and text appears. Okay, so every component will have a certain event. So whenever that event is generated, an action is associated with the component. So to associate an action with the component, we attach listener to it. Okay, so components send events and listener listens those events. Suppose we are having a button, so every button can be clicked. Now click is the event. So once a button is clicked, so there should be a listener who listens to this click. Different components may send different events and it requires different listeners. Okay. Okay. Now what are listeners? Listeners are actually interfaces. Listeners are actually interfaces. Okay, so they are not classes. So actually if they are interfaces, we need to implement them. So here action listener is a class, is an interface. We need to implement it. Suppose we want to implement it by using the my button listener. So you can see that this is the code. This is the implementation of a action listener class. Okay. Now here, suppose writing a listener. How we will write a listener? Suppose we want to write a listener for a button. Okay. So we need an action listener. For a button, we need action listener. Okay. Suppose B1 is a button. B1 is a type of button. Okay, and we want to associate a listener with it. How we can do it? B1 dot add action listener. Okay, we will call the method add action listener, the B1 object, and B1 is the button. We will pass we will pass it the class that we have been implemented from the interface action listener. So my button listener has been passed to it. An action listener must have an action perform method. So every action listener will have a method inside it, that is action performed method. Okay, so we will have action performed method and the event which is generated by that component that we passed as an argument to this action perform method. यानी अगर हम बटन को क्लिक करते हैं तो जो इसका क्लिक इवेंट जनरेट हुआ है, इसको एज एन आर्गुमेंट के तौर पे पास किया जाएगा इसको एक्शन परफॉर्म मेथड को. ओके, नाउ सपोज लुक एट इट हियर इनिट मेथड में हमने क्या किया, वी आर गोइंग टू राइट माय बटन लिस्टनर. ओके, so b1 dot add action listener. Now with the help of b1 we have been called a method add action listener. अगर हम बटन के साथ कोई एक्शन एसोसिएट करना चाहते हैं और तो उसके लिए हम उसका करस्पॉन्डिंग लिसनर जो है वो राइट करना पड़ेगा. सो b1 डॉट एक्शन लिसनर इज इक्वल टू माई here you can see the action perform method. Within the action perform method, we have write a show status message. So whenever this button is clicked, it will generate a new event. Okay, and that event is passed to the action perform method. Now the action perform method will in return display a message, and you can see that is out. Okay, so this is another example, listeners for text field. You look at this, look at the text carefully, and what actually will happen. So in a text field we write some text. We know that every text field will have some text. So whenever a carriage return is entered, okay, carriage return, or if we hit a return key, so what will happen, the event is occurred, and this event is passed to the action perform method, and within the action perform method we will have a get text method. What this get text method will do, it will take the corresponding text from that text field. Okay, so we can write a listener to the text field like this. I hope you will understand what is the abstract window toolkit, what are swings, how we can import them, what is the container, what is the component, how we can write applets, how we can uh, add components to the layout manager, and how we can arrange the components in a layout manager, and how we can listen to those events which are occurred or which are generated by the components. Okay, if you are having any problem regarding this lecture, you can ask me. Thank you so much.